that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone.
So, let's get to the business at hand. The honoring of Dr. William Stockton.
Now, Jerry,
who today is 1 year older and admits to being over 21.
what about the hammering at all hours of the night?
Ah, yes. The good doctor's bomb shelter. Well, I'm afraid we'll have to forgive him for all that. Despite the fact that what the doctor thinks of as far-sightedness on his part has been a real pain in the neck to the rest of us. Doc, you're a very beloved fellow, and rightly so.
I think I'll coffee in the other room, huh?
Yes, Wally, what is it?
The picture went out on the TV set. Some kind of goofy announcement.
Hold it, everybody, hold it.
Station on the radio.
What did you say, Paul?
Well, the announcer said something about turn to the Conrad station on the radio.
Are you sure that that's what you heard, Polly?
I didn't hear wrong, Pop. That's what he said.
4 minutes ago, the President of the United States made the following announcement. Our distant early warning line and ballistics early warning line reported radar evidence of unidentified flying objects flying due southeast. As of this moment, we have been unable to determine the nature of these objects, but for the time being, in the interest of national safety, we are declaring a state of yellow alert. The civil defense authorities request that if you have a shelter already prepared, go there at once.
What you're about to watch is a nightmare. It is not meant to be prophetic. It need not happen. It's the fervent and urgent prayer of all men of goodwill that it never shall happen. But in this place, in this moment, it does happen. This is the Twilight Zone.
Now, you two stay here. I'll get the rest of the water.
How's it going, Bill?
Well, it's going fine, Jerry. We're collecting water, which is what you should be doing.
Well, we collected about 30 gallons and then the water stopped. Did yours stop, too?
Jerry, you better get on home and get into your shelter. Hey, into your basement. And I'd board up the windows if I were you. You got any wood money or anything?
We don't have any cellar, remember? Can I bring Martha and the kids over here?
Over here.
Well, we're sitting ducks over there. Sitting ducks, we don't have any protection at all.
Oh, Jerry. Well, you can use our basement.
The basement? What about your shelter? We've got to get into a shelter. It's the only place we can survive.
I don't have any room, Jerry.
Well, just give us a chance.
No.
48 hours, Bill, then we'll get out.
When that door gets closed and locked, it stays closed and locked, Jerry. There'll be radiation and heaven knows what else. None of you wanted to listen. To build a shelter was to admit to the kind of age we lived in, and none of you had the guts to face that. Yeah. So now you've got to face something far worse, Jerry. So God, please, God, protect you, Jerry. It's out of my hands. It's simply out of my hands. It's got to be God. It's got to be God. It'll land any minute. I just know it'll land any minute.
We won't let anybody in.
Oh, what'll we do?
I'll tell you what we ought to do. We ought to find one basement to go to work on that.
I tell you, it just isn't fair. He's down there in a bomb shelter, perfectly safe, while I kids have to sit around and wait for a bomb to drop.
Why don't we just go down to his basement and break down the door? Come on, let's get it in there.
Previously unidentified objects have now been definitely ascertained as being satellites.
Thank God.
we'll pay for the damages, Bill.
I wonder if any one of us has any idea what those damages really are. Maybe one of them is finding out what we're really like when we're normal. We were spared a bomb tonight, but I wonder if we weren't destroyed even without it.
No moral, no message, no prophetic tract. Just a simple statement of fact. For civilization to survive, the human race has to remain civilized. Tonight's very small exercise in logic from the Twilight Zone.